Side on THAAfterparty.com.
Hey, this is Pamela, aka the Love Doctor.
This is Serge, Mr. United.
This is Mr. Yeet himself, the mouth of the South, B. Jones. And we're missing Miss Beckham, KD. I'm KT with Sports Life Talk. Tune in every Saturday, 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. for sports, relationship, and life talk. Catch us every Saturday on Side A of the After Party Radio. See you at the party. Yeet!
I'm just messing with you.
Because you're looking crazy over there.
Without sports is your South coming to you live from the After Party Radio. And I can stand you. We got the whole crew here today. KD, Serge, Pam, the Love Doctor. Mr. Yeet, B. Jones. I'm KT. Don't forget to follow and like us on at Sports Life Talk on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Before we get started, RIP to Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker, who died tragically July 14, 2019, suddenly when he was...
Your headset's not even on, bro.
Hey, but you sounded great, man.
Hey, Sweet Pea Whitaker.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Oh, whoops. So that means I don't have on the right one?
Yeah, I was really ever going in it.
Take one down, pass it around.
We're live, y'all. We're live, y'all.
Do I got to start all the way over now?
No. We ain't starting over. We good?
We good, man.
Okay.
No, man. Improvise.
Okay, so before we get started again, RIP to Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker, who died tragically on July 14th when he was struck by a vehicle. He was 25 years old.
Wow.
All right, so the cover athlete this
55
week.
years old.
What did I say?
25.
He was 55.
Yeah.
The cover athlete this week was a tough one. Number 13 seems to be very successful. Here are some names that we passed on. Wilt Chamberlain, Alex Rodriguez, Steve Nash, James Harden, and Dan Marino. But we went a different route. So here we go. Episode 13, The Catch. Normally we have B. Jones breaking down the cover athlete. But today, I want to swing it to Miss Beckham herself to give us a rundown of her boo.
Hey, y'all. So, y'all know I will gladly take this one. My soon-to-be husband, Odell Cornelius Beckham Jr.,
Cornelius.
is an American...
She know his middle name.
Yes. Is an American football wide receiver for the Cleveland Browns. He was born in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Beckham played college football at nearby Louisiana State University and was drafted by the New York Giants in first round of the 2014 NFL Draft with the 12th overall pick. And his big catch actually took place in 2014 against the Dallas Cowboys. Woo. and ever since then, he's been my man. In 2016, he became the fastest player in the NFL history to reach both 200 career receptions and 4,000 career receiving yards. He currently has 390 receptions, how would you say this?
5,476.
Receiving and 44 touchdowns. But let's see. That day he became more than football from the famous catch in November of 2014. And just so y'all know, also 13 is significant to me because my daughter was born on the 13th of December.
Get out of
You
here.
just got everything going.
So,
And
Lucky 13.
the after party is right now on the 13th floor.
Oh yeah, it sure is. Yeah.
Okay.
And what you got for us?
All right, y'all. So we started the weekly trivia question last week. Remember, the first caller to go on our social media and answer this question correctly will get a free Sports Life Talk T-shirt of your favorite team color, but staying in the theme with Odell Beckham Jr. ODB. I call him ODB. I know some people call him.
Because
It's Odell Beckham. That's what we call him down. I don't know why. That's what we always said.
OBJ.
As LSU fans. So
that says a lot about y'all and education in Louisiana.
When he became a social media sensation, that's when they said OBJ. They wanted to make sure they hit every single, I guess, letter of his name. But OBJ made history in the NFL last year, becoming the fastest player since 1970, merged to tally 5,000 receiving yards. Beckham set the mark in 54 games, outpacing what wide receiver who completed the feat in 56 games. So what wide receiver did Odell Beckham unseat to break the record to the fastest player to 5,000 receiving yards? Get that on our website ASAP. But that's the question for the listeners. My question for the cast. This is the dead period of sports. No more basketball. Football is around the corner. Thank God. Baseball is in full swing. No pun intended. But I don't watch baseball usually till after the trade deadline. That's kind of when the good teams go and swallow up all the talent and the bad teams kind of go away. But this is when I start binge watching a lot of stuff. Like I got Last Chance U. Just came out last night. I'll talk about it next weekend.
You know, I'm gonna start watching that too. So I've heard it's a good show.
Yeah, Last Chance U pretty good. So I'm gonna be doing a lot of TV. I just picking up some random shows in. If y'all got any good suggestions, please.
You know what's funny? I never thought this show would have been any good. Y'all heard of well, of course y'all heard of it. That girl or whatever she is.
That girl.
All that. She's all that.
No. It came on like Fox.
Yeah, it's that girl.
That girl?
Yeah.
I've never
heard of it. I haven't seen it, but
I think that's the name of it.
Is it
I
good?
think so too.
Yeah.
It's
It's like it's
called That Girl.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
corny humor.
Okay.
But hey,
okay.
Hannah Simone, Google her.
All right. I will. I'll make sure I go into private mode. Hey, look. All right. So Friday the 13th was starring Jason Voorhees, who most notably wore a hockey goaltender's mask. I guess that's kind of sports-ish. So my question to you guys, what is your favorite sports movie of all time?
That's easy.
All right, you go first then.
You got Sanaa Lathan in basketball. Love and Basketball is my favorite movie.
That's
man.
your favorite sports movie as a male. I can see the ladies bringing that one, man.
Say, man, why you gotta attack me like that, man? I like other
There's just
football
so
movies.
many good movies out there.
So,
Why,
like,
what's your
basketball
number-
wasn't good?
Basketball and love.
I got you.
And
So,
Sanaa Lathan.
I'm being a little hard on you. So
Him
what's
and
your
his
number
wife
2 though?
watch it and cuddle.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah,
a spooning movie.
him and
man.
all his
That's
spooning.
barely got
He
basketball
always
in it.
talk about spooning.
Have we spooned it? I don't know. So what y'all got then? Since I'm always getting attacked by that dude over there.
Growing up, I would say, I would Space Jam, like
That's a
Mike,
good one.
and then of
Space
course,
Jam.
Bring It On. Bring It On was
Bring
it
it
was
on.
a
I
Bring
it
remember
was a
Bring It On.
cheerleading.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, cheerleading. But
Yeah.
that was I know that movie. I know all the words to that movie.
Nice.
Bring it on. Are you a big Gabrielle Union fan?
No.
Hey, you know my favorite part. My favorite part of that movie is when they went to the game and they was all dressed in the girls from I can't remember the name. And they wasn't
The
3LW, was it?
Clovers. It was Clovers.
What was the girl group that was in with Gabrielle Union? Remember it was the 3 girls from the
No.
Was
no,
it
no.
702?
Black.
Oh,
Black. Yeah, you remember
Yeah.
they were the other cheerleaders along with
Yeah.
Gabrielle
Right,
Union.
yeah.
And they went to the cheerleading thing and they was out there at the game. And the girls started doing their cheer, and then the black girls in street clothes started doing the cheer in the stands as well, and called them back out. Y'all remember
I'm
that?
mad that you a little
Okay, so that's my thing. He just attacked me for
Right.
loving
He like-
basketball, but he talking about his favorite
Hold on,
part
I
to Bring
got
It
an
On.
excuse. I got a daughter.
What they got to do with you having a favorite scene and Bring It
I gotta
On?
watch this stuff with my daughter,
I
man.
watch a lot
I
of stuff with my son, but I ain't got that excited about the
no, but what
My favorite part was come on, man, you gonna attack
you know,
me?
they were
But,
attractive,
like
man.
you
But that's
said-
not my favorite movie. I just know the movie.
Okay.
I've seen it.
Okay.
That's your favorite part and
Serge.
Bring
My
It On.
favorite part and Bring It On.
Man, it's tough. There's so many good movies. I feel like, but Sandlot. I can
Sandlot.
watch. I can
Sandlot
watch
was
it.
good.
Bambino.
I can watch it now. Like, I mean, it comes on randomly on MLB Network, and I randomly will tune in and just watch it because it's got, obviously when you involve kids, sports, but at the same time giving you the history lesson that it does in the movie. That's why it's always doesn't matter if it's 20 years, 30 years down the line, you can still watch it, and especially if you're a kid, you can still have relevance into the movie.
Is the pool scene your favorite scene?
Of course.
That's my favorite scene.
That's a little
Mine
player right
is,
there.
there's no crying in baseball.
Oh,
League of Their Own.
Yeah, that's a good
that's
movie,
one
too.
of my favorites.
But you know
That's
what?
a really good movie too.
Since
Hey,
I
in all
wasn't,
fairness,
since
I had that one
no,
repeating. It had nothing to do with
no,
my
that was a
daughter.
good movie. Yeah. Since I was viciously attacked, I'm gonna tell you another movie I love.
All right, thank you. Here we
Okay.
go.
And it's because Halle Berry's in the 2.5 football, the program.
Ooh,
The program. How about that? Is
I
that
can't,
better?
I can't reach over there, but I hit the bell for you. That program.
I want
is
to
dope.
hit you, but you know what? We
That was
gonna.
a good movie.
He just playing America. He just playing. It's all love.
One of the ones you missed on. Oh, you did put. Any Given Sunday was.
Yeah.
really
Well,
good, too.
that's
Yeah,
what
that
that was
was good one.
mine.
And
That
he
was
even
mine.
said that.
I
Willie
did like the
Beeman.
Creeds.
Willie Beeman was
Yeah.
my guy, man.
Oh
Any
yeah, I
given
forgot
Sunday.
Creed too.
Any given Sunday
Oh,
was
yeah,
the
Creed,
first
yeah.
time I felt like they gave us somewhat of a depiction of what happens in the NFL locker room with these stars and the lifestyle they live and dealing with contracts and coaching. And we always hear stories of the Antonio Browns, who are these divas who have these bad attitudes. But to be able to really see how that bad attitude was a cancer in their locker room, and also to see the injuries of Lawrence Taylor at that time. Remember, he was playing the old wily linebacker,
Yep,
and
yep.
he went out there and played with a concussion. So it's crazy that was a little bit of a foreshadowing for what happened in NFL years down the road. You know,
Yep.
so some of my other ones I used to love Major League, and we'll put these up on the website. So we're not gonna go through all of these like Caddyshack, The Longest Yard, and of course somebody say Creed.
Yeah.
I'm in love with Creed. That's a dope series. But
And Happy Gilmore. I like that too.
Happy
man.
Gilmore, yeah, that's a
Got my
good one.
Happy
That's a
Gilmore.
good one. All right, KT, I'll swing it back to you, man.
Well, now, how about you just keep rolling? I'll go ahead and do it, man. My bad.
You
All right, so
man.
let's talk about the Tyreek Hill situation. The NFL has come out and said that they can't find anything that warranted a suspension. So my question to the group is, should Tyreek Hill have been suspended?
What you thinking, Serge? You taking that gas, that deep breath?
See, when it comes to, I guess, let me, I guess, say something else like that still has relative to this topic, but I don't like when players, get in quote unquote trouble or maybe got in trouble and they're dealing with in the court of law that, then your job basically, which is basically the NFL, has to step in and get involved in suspending you without pay, et cetera, et cetera. Because I like to look at those kind of things as far as like if I was to do something, at my job, obviously unless it came up on my record, there's no way that my job would obviously know about it, right?
Right.
So, and then with this, like, yeah, it sounds like he's done something, but there's still no legitimate proof that he's done something. But at the same time, I'm not a Cowboys fan, but I look at the Zeke situation.
Yep,
They
I
There
put
was
that in my notes.
actually
Yeah,
no
yeah.
proof, but it did go to court. There was visual evidence that was presented. There was obviously a statement. Like, people did go to court, and there was actually something that came about that made it look like there's more than what there was.
But the
actually
charges
something.
were dropped.
Right.
Yes.
And so it's a slippery slope. I feel like when stuff like this that NFL getting involved, but I do get that the backlash that the fans will give, and not watch games or whatever because something like this is going on. So, I know everybody in Kansas City is going to watch their team, but it's not going to be a problem for them. But
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I'm glad the NFL decided to step down. I do think that I'm not a Cowboys fan as well, but Zeke 100% got robbed. I think that the NFL should cut Zeke a check for whatever those 6 games he missed because they made the similar decision. Now, you're right. It did go to court, and there was visual evidence, which that's the high note of this whole thing. It's visual evidence. If you look at the Ray Rice situation, if people don't remember, Ray Rice had 2 games. He was suspended 2 games. Life had moved on. The situation was swept under the rug. Effective September the 17th of that year, Ray Rice was going to be the starting running back for the Baltimore Ravens. But visual evidence came out, and all of a sudden, his whole career, that man has never touched a football field again. The loser in this whole situation is 100% the child. I don't know. I get it. We all football fans. I've had a rough week, and I know this is not a political show, but I'm starting to really look at I guess the terminology is woke. I'm starting to really look at what's going on in our today's society and how certain hate agendas, and I'm trying to stay as non-political as I possibly can, are taking steam. And I'm starting to realize human nature is very weird. The fact that Kansas City fans right now are reveling and celebrating this guy, that bothers me. It bothers me. Now, don't get me wrong. I love football. Y'all know I'm about as passionate about football as anybody come. And I love what Tyreek Hill can do on the field. I've always thought this dude was an exceptional, talented player. But the fact is that this kid was hurt to the point where he had to have a broken arm Now, if Tyreek Hill would have said, man, me and my son was roughhousing, I'm a football player, I was teaching him football, and we got a little rough, that's different. But it's child abuse clearly going on, and this is not the first incident that Tyreek Hill has been pegged in which he's put his hands. This man put his hands on his fiance at the time, who
When they
was
were in
pregnant
college.
with this child, and even admitted guilty to it. So now he's coming out, well, I was forced to admit that I was guilty so I could get a plea so I could go play professional football. I get that. But the woman who's a part of this is clearly in a volatile relationship. And I don't understand why all these NFL players, athletes in general, are in these volatile. Reuben Foster, they always in these volatile relationships to begin with. LaShawn McCoy, and then you get this type of reaction and you surprised. So this got swept under. I'm gonna read the text messages. I read it to the crew before the show. This is what got Tyreek Hill off, right? Tyreek, he wrote this to his wife, Crystal. Crystal, you know I didn't cause any bruising or harm to our son, but for some reason, I still may be charged. Crystal's response, I know you didn't. I did. I hurt our son. I'm the one that did it. I was hurt and mad at you, so I blamed you for everything. Now, I sent a lot of text messages and some apologies. I know I've owed a lot. I ain't admitted guilt 3 times in the same text message to somebody. Bottom line is Tyreek Hill is probably due for the most lucrative contract a wide receiver can accumulate in the sport that we've ever seen. It's probably going to be something to the tune of $120 million over 5 or 6 years, something like that. He probably going to get like $22 to $25 million as a wide receiver in the NFL, which is more than Odell Beckham and Antonio Brown and Julio Jones. So with that being said, she knows that this is basically securing her family and her money.
Of course.
She admitted guilt 3 times. And have y'all ever heard Tyreek Hill do an interview? Tyreek Hill can barely say Kansas City. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For him to text something so articulate, Crystal, you know I didn't cause any bruising. Any bruise. It clarified it.
He would
Any
probably
bruising
say,
or harm.
I ain't did this. What you talking about, girl?
To our son, but for some reason, I still may be charged.
That's
And
He didn't even write
And
that.
it contradicts everything that you hear from the audio where he didn't know it was being recorded. You can
Yeah.
just tell. If you were contrite, even if you were like, hey, she didn't actually see, and yeah, my son's only 3, so he could say whatever, but he doesn't know what he's talking about. I would, if he did it but still wanted to deny it, that would have been the time. But he didn't deny it, but didn't say yes either. So, which is usually admitting guilt.
All right, so Pam and KD, you both have children. Put yourself in her shoes. How would you have handled that situation? As far as, you going to take the rap really for a guy that broke your kid's arm?
Remember a couple weeks ago we talked about the guy changing his face, and I said, is he still alive?
Yes.
That would be the same. You can't, I don't care if you were my son's father, if you hurt my son to that extent. Now, don't get me wrong. Have I ever whooped my son? Yes, I have. Y'all can get mad at me all you want to, but he's
Whooping
alive. He's a great child right now.
Yeah.
I done popped him a few times. Absolutely. As a matter of fact, the older he got, I start snatching him up because
You
he's
got
bigger
to.
than me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I mean, it's never been to the point where he's had to go to the hospital. His feelings were the most thing hurt on him after I was done with him. So I couldn't see me just saying, oh, I'm gonna take this money and say that I did it. Because regardless, I'm going to get part of the money anyway. I have your
Right.
kids. So I'm certainly not going to admit that I did something to my child to save your behind. It's not going to happen.
Well, I don't think she's saving his behind. I think she's saving that money. I think she won't
is-
be. I
She's
feel what
doing
you're saying.
both.
But
She's
it's still
saving
doing
both.
both. She
Yeah, she's
essentially
saving
doing
both.
Yeah,
too.
effectively by saving him, but I think it's really the long game
Yes.
she's playing, not the short game.
No.
But I feel like by doing that, you're also opening up yourself for it to happen again and again.
Oh, it
and
is. It's
again.
gonna happen.
And then
And
how does
so-
your child feel? I mean, right now
Clearly,
the
you're
child
just
is
being
young,
you're just being selfish.
but
That's all
as
it
the
is.
child gets older, like,
One thing I can say about children, and this is not right, but children are very resilient.
they are.
Children are very forgiving. We've all had to go apologize to our kids, and they 10 minutes later, and they, hey, let's go play. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
especially the younger they are. Now, when you get about 12, 13, you might not eat that cereal. You know, they offer you that drink of water. It might have something in it.
But you never know, because that child might end up in therapy at the
Oh, it
age
will.
of 25, sitting on the couch saying, and I remember my dad did this and my mom did this. you just
No,
you
it's
never know
gonna cause
what
damage.
effect it's gonna have on
Yeah,
you.
it's gonna
Like,
cause damage on
yeah.
them.
And my take on it is, like you said, the relationship was no good at pregnancy. So it's like, why continue to, stay in that relationship and then also allowing the environment to let him do this. And me, I'm like, look, I support everything you do, so it's not gonna work between me and you. But just to save your career, like it wouldn't have even gone to where it's at now. You
So
know.
we were me and a friend. We were talking about this at the office the other day. As to, they were asking me because we had the conversation about going pro versus going college, right? And they were like, you got to understand, B, that the economic situation for some of these kids, like they come up and they understand that either selling drugs, rapping, or playing sports is the only way that they're going to get out. So if they get an opportunity, even if think about it, if they make one contract, they come out and they make one contract of $6 million, that's probably more money than all of us will see in our lifetime. You get what I'm
Right,
saying? So
yep,
that
yep.
one opportunity can change and flip the whole generation for their whole family around. So when you think about her, and I don't know her, I don't know Miss Crystal from the first. I haven't. Matter of fact, I hadn't even seen her picture, but her economic situation could have been to where he got that first contract, he playing in NFL, and she's living a different lifestyle. Everybody in her family is coming over to their house. And, Trent Richardson, he went broke after his first NFL contract. He said he looked up and he had like $4,000 worth of AT&T phone bills, and he didn't even know. He was paying this every month on everybody in his family AT&T cell phone bill. So that's a lot of people. That's like 20, 30 folks on the phone. That's a small business. So all I'm saying is that I think we make compromises. I think we sacrifice our own self value. And I'm not even gonna sit up here and be high and mighty and say, Miss Crystal, you shouldn't do that. You got to do what you got to do.
Right.
It's the fans where my
Yes.
frustration lies.
I agree.
It's these Kansas City fans. It's these football fans who have totally diminished the value of human morals and standards for the love of the game. And don't get me wrong, Sunday afternoon I will be glued to the television. I don't, we got a question here like, what's your most exciting storyline? I was actually most excited to see Patty Mahomes. Could he do it again in year two? Could Patty Mahomes go 60 touchdowns? But I don't know if I'm going to have the stomach to watch a Kansas City Chief game.
That's why, man, it's hard putting politics into sports. It's hard with the whole domestic violence. First of all, if you're a league and you have a player that's consistently getting in trouble for hitting his child or a woman, they don't need to be playing that sport again, man. It's that
How hard
simple.
is that, KT? How hard is that?
Or get the help that they need instead of trying to cover everything. Not let it get in the media. Why aren't they giving this man the therapy and the help that he needs?
That's true, but think about us though, KD. If one of us went to our job right now and they found out that we was beating our wife and kids, are they gonna try to get us help or are they gonna let us go?
They're going to let us go.
They gonna let us go. And professional athletes, maybe they'll get the picture if we start kicking your butt out.
Yeah, they not getting the picture. And all I think we're doing is they getting better at the cover up. This right here shows me that they're getting more litigious. They're getting the right people surrounding them.
The fact
and
that you was talking about the
a way
text message, the way.
Yeah, it has to come to a point where it's a zero tolerance policy on everything. Because if I feel like I could do something, okay, I might get in trouble 2 games, 4 games, 6 games, but I'll still get to play. Then it doesn't take away from like, if I get this one opportunity to mess up, and I can still make money down the line because I'm good enough and I know where my value is, right? So, but I feel like if you have a zero tolerance policy, I can never get in trouble. I don't care if you get caught with drugs, if you get anything that's over the line outside of maybe like a traffic ticket. I feel like if you actually drugs or commit any kind of domestic violence or anything, it's an automatic you're out of the league. Like there's no, because if you do that, then they're that proponent to not do that act, knowing what the consequences are.
Right.
See, I see where you're going with that, but I disagree with that to a certain extent. I agree with the consequence to a certain degree, but what my problem with it is that Zeke, for example, he was in a very unhealthy, like I said, once again, these athletes in these volatile relationships, he was in an unhealthy relationship. He said, hey, I'm going to leave you, and she sends him text messages, well, if you do leave me, just like Crystal did, I'm going to ruin your career. So all it takes is one woman And I mean, it's almost to a point like if you're a professional athlete, you can't date. Just go to work,
And that's
go to the gym, play you some Madden, and go home.
And that's
You know,
another thing that bothers me. Why do we continue messing with the women that are gonna jeopardize our career? Why?
Hey,
that's why I was saying I don't know why they're in so many unhealthy relationships. These relationships are volatile.
some men just like that drama too.
Yeah.
Yes,
No, dude.
And some women
it's a fact.
tolerate the drama.
Yeah,
So because they see a paycheck or whatever, so they'll tolerate it.
Yep.
They literally don't have to do anything. They can, go to the salon, do their hair, nails,
Nothing.
makeup,
They
whatever
gotta
they
do
want.
nothing.
Chef,
Absolutely
chef to cook your
nothing.
food, a babysitter to take care of your
Nothing.
kids. I
A
mean,
trainer
you,
to be
you
the
can
Instagram
go sit on the
model.
beach whenever you want. I mean,
Prime example.
and you can go sit in the suites when your boo or whoever else is playing. I mean, travel back and forth on a private. I mean, that's a lot to try to quote unquote give up to. Like you said, you compromise because in the long run. My 3-year-old is like, okay, but when he's 10, 12, will I still have enough money if I take full custody of him? Will I still have enough money to take care of him? But still be able to do all the things that I want to do.
Well,
Because
this
now
is
I
gonna
got
mess
used
up
to
his,
it.
Yeah, it's gonna mess up his promotional opportunities. You know
Of
what I'm
course,
saying?
of
Being
course.
the name of different brands and stuff. But what was the text message you sent out on Tuesday or Wednesday to the group? Do you remember that?
About Kevin Garnett,
What happened with Kevin Garnett?
$100,000 a month.
A month.
But that's also spousal support too.
But
That's
that-
child
but
support.
still.
But I mean, you could give me half of that, and I'd be set.
What about Miss
Give
Crystal?
me a quarter of that.
Miss Crystal is making. Miss Crystal could be part of. I know it's Kevin Garnett's wife, but
Right.
she is making $1.2 million a year for being an ex-wife and a mother.
So let me ask
Who
y'all
in
that.
America?
Yeah, before we move on, do y'all agree with that?
Agree with what?
That she should be getting $100,000 a month?
I don't know the financial situation.
I don't either. I don't know how long were they married. How many kids do they have?
I saw Waiting to Exhale, so
I know they got a couple of kids. They got a couple of
then
kids,
yes.
right? Y'all 100,000
Yes.
A month?
a
Yes.
month.
what if he's worth $1 million a month though? That's
There
not
you
really
go.
that much money.
It isn't.
not
But
the-
look here. No, she should get something. So let me put it out there. She
Yeah,
should
of
get
course,
something.
of course.
100,000.
But okay.
100,000 a year? I'd be cool with.
100,000.
Oh no!
No, hold on. Now, you make. I don't know about
Okay,
that one,
but
sir.
No,
Let's
we're talking
25 a
No,
month.
we're talking the reason why you set an amount or it's there's obviously living to your means, but then when
Absolutely.
when this family set standards are a little higher as far as like okay, your family
Private
has money and
schools.
things like that. I get it, but if you can calculate that out over a course of a year with all the expenses that you have, especially depending on if your kids drive yet or not, if they're still like in their early teens or whatever, they don't drive yet. So, okay, like putting food on the table, paying mortgage on a house, buying them clothes and all that. You really think you need $1.2 million
year.
for
I do.
all those people
I do.
in a year?
I do.
I mean,
I do.
I don't know.
Well, speak on it
I
then,
need
sister.
1.5 right now for my child. I'm not
You know
getting
what?
that,
She's
but-
saying something without saying it though. From a woman's perspective, after I dealt with him and his crusty
Thank
feet
you.
and his stanky self
All
coming
the
up in
women
here
and all these
and all these
different
women
cities
and all the
and-
stress and turmoil and emotional.
You know what?
He took me through. You know
Okay.
what? F
Yep.
him. Give me F you
Pay
pay me.
my money.
Because like Coach said last week, if you think the professional athletes aren't cheating, then
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
So you know what? With that said, I agree. She should got $150,000 a month now. Golly,
you.
that,
See?
that made me come around. All right, so we're gonna move around real quickly because that segment went on. Wow, that's a good talk. We
Yeah,
never
it was,
just
it
hear
was
something
real,
like
man. I'm
that.
sorry I got on the rant, but
That's
that,
what keeping it
irritated
real
me.
going right.
Yeah, pretty
You
much.
know?
All right, so bump it or dump it. Should the NFL get rid of the franchise tag?
What's the purpose of it?
Well, let's talk about that. So the NFL franchise tag, basically, they take the highest salary. All right, so every rookie comes in, and they have a slotted amount of years that they sign a contract for, right? So if you're a first-round draft pick, you get a 4-year contract with a 5th-year option. All right, it's a team option. If you are good, the team has the opportunity to offer you another contract, or if they don't want to lose you, but we're in a state of negotiation, we can't come to a deal, they can franchise tag you. And what this means is you take the highest 5 salaries for that position. So if you're a running back, you take the top 5 running back contracts and you average that out, and that's what you are going to make for that 1 year while they franchise tag you.
Okay.
The problem with it is they can only franchise tag you, I think it's 2 times in a row. All right. And sometimes, especially when you talk about running backs, is which, like Ezekiel Elliott, the average salary of 5. You have the top 3, but then you go and you start looking at number 4 and number 5. Those contracts aren't very strong. So running backs typically don't get the same amount of money as some like a quarterback is a real good position to get franchise tag. You'll make some good money. Problem number 2 is, and Jadeveon Clowney is a situation that's currently happening. He in his scheme, he kind of runs 2 different positions. He runs a linebacker and he runs a defensive lineman or defensive end. Those are slotted for 2 different. You see what I mean? It's 2 different positions in which defensive end is one of the most lucrative positions, where linebacker is kind of middle of the road. So now you have to look at how do we tag this person and go forward. So do you understand what a franchise tag is? So basically, the team has the opportunity to say, hey, you don't even get to get out. You don't even get to go into free agency. We're going to make you a player for us for 1 more year, and we're going to pay you this guaranteed contract for 1 year.
Okay.
I say dump it because, like you say, some people don't end up getting the money that they're worth. I can't remember what player it was for the Cowboys where it was like they weren't getting what they were worth, or they could have gone somewhere else and made more money, but they kept franchise tagging the player.
Who did the Cowboys? I
Who
can't
was
remember
that?
last time the Cowboys franchise tag somebody.
Was it Des Bryant?
No,
I know they did it to DeMarcus Lawrence.
They may have done it to DeMarcus Lawrence. I'm not sure.
They did do it to
Yeah, it
him,
was
but
DeMarcus Lawrence that's recent.
But his defensive end, you ain't gonna hear nobody complain about a DE franchise tag. You probably making
Yeah, I
16
can't-
to
I can't
17 million
remember.
dollars a year DE franchise tag.
But
yeah,
don't,
this is the same situation that was with Jimmy Graham a while back.
Jimmy Graham,
Wide
Maybe
receiver,
that's
tight
why.
end.
wide
Like he
receiver,
was,
tight end. That's right.
he was really playing wide receiver, but he's labeled as a tight end.
That's correct.
But he's like, his argument is because wide receivers make more money than tight end, so he should make wide receiver money because he's like a wide receiver, catching as many passes as a wide receiver, playing the slot and outside like a wide receiver.
They
but
moved him all
he's
around. Yep.
labeled and starts as a tight end on your roster, so he ended up
Well.
having to get paid as a tight end. So yeah, I agree. I think they should get rid of it because I think it holds down the player to the franchise when in reality, like at least kind of do it where, kind of like in the NBA where you're a restricted free agent. Somebody else could offer me higher money. Now it's up to you
Yeah.
to match it.
right.
So that way, okay, if you match it, then that means you really want me. But if you don't, I'm still making my money and go somewhere else. So
Right.
and you only have to sign a franchise, a tender like when you're a restricted free agent with the team that you want. You don't. Somebody else can offer you a lot more money, but if you don't want to go there because they're a crappy team, you don't have to sign it.
That's right.
So I think that would be better than a franchise tag. 'Cause I feel like it holds the player, but it's a what is it? Owner's mentality, right? I guess what they call it, or
Call it
governor.
the
sorry.
governors.
Governor. Yeah.
You know what? I say bump it with the asterisk. Bump it with the asterisk.
You
I think.
always got something.
Yeah. Always.
Yeah, we already know.
Well, that's just the deal, though. The principle, y'all know how we create laws and rules, right? And anytime you create a new law and a rule, it's there for a reason, and it really truly has the motivation or the purpose to help people. But just like any rule, we always find the gray area and we find a way to abuse it,
course.
right?
But it might not help the player. Like when you
It
say help
should.
people, do you mean help the player or help?
The franchise tag should help the player,
And
but
it's more beneficial to the team.
because
It
they
is.
found the gray area. They
Right.
found the gray area.
Right.
So,
and they don't have
so-
to commit long term.
So,
Nope.
absolutely.
Right?
So
Right.
in the case of a quarterback, like a Dakota Prescott, who I like what Dakota's done on the field, right?
Somebody-
Dak.
Tell that dude Dak, stop playing around. You get
Dakota.
super kicked up there.
This a grown man. You got to go by your real name, Mitchell Trubisky. But look, but Dak is a good quarterback. But the way the contracts have been set, in order for Dak to get paid where he should with the quarterback, Cowboys going to have to cut a check. And I only say that so the franchise tag is there for a team to evaluate and still make a decision while Dak can still get paid and on average of what the top. Dak should not complain. The problem is with Ezekiel Elliott. Once again, if you franchise tag Zeke, he's going to be gross underly paid, okay? So the same thing with Le'Veon Bell. They franchise tagged Le'Veon last year, and he decided not to play at all because he would have received probably $3 to $4 million less than what he was worth. I think the franchise tag would have paid him, 12? And he was seeking for like 15 or 16. So if the organization, now me personally, I think Zeke shouldn't complain about a tag because Zeke has had 2 off seasons, and every off season we got some red flags. And that's the thing that Jerry Jones has to make a decision. Do we want to commit to Ezekiel Elliott for the long term? And to me, That's what the tag should be used as, a show me year. You know what? We all got you up for a contract. We want to pay you. Prove it for one more year. All right. But like I said, he's going to take a pay cut. And in the NFL, this is a car crash. Every single play is equivalent to a car crash. Your career could end just like that. All it takes is one bad play and it's over. So,
Is he holding out right now?
well, the rumor
Yeah,
is he's supposed
he's
to
going
hold
to try
out.
to hold it, but he still has 2 years left too, right?
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm starting to see a trend that superstars are getting that 2-year negotiation.
I don't
I
blame
think
him.
Aaron Rodgers was the first one to do that, wasn't it? I can't remember. I
he
think
didn't hold out.
no, but I'm saying he was the first one to get an extension at the 2-year mark.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they started. If you got 2 years left on your deal, I think.
I mean,
Julio-
I think they should pay him. Because the way I look at it is like, if Zeke was a free agent right now, you don't think he'd be number one free agent on the market?
Absolutely.
Yes,
he
he
would.
would.
But if Dak was on the market, he wouldn't be number one, number two, number three.
if Zeke was
Like
on the
he's
market
not going to
next
get paid $30 million.
year, usage in 3 years than Zeke Elliott.
Yeah, so hey,
There's
That's
only been
with six
three players
games suspension.
with a 6 game. So his usage
So,
is extremely
yeah.
high. And
It's like Le'Veon Bell on steroids.
that's what I'm about to say. So when you look at Le'Veon got a deal, Ty Gurley got a deal, which
Yeah.
he kind of screwed the whole thing up for everybody because this dude got arthritis in the knee. We don't even know what Ty Gurley's going to even look like this
Got
next
his
year.
money, though.
He might be a yeah. He got paid. He changed his whole family's future. But Zeke, if he didn't have those off the field issues, I would say bar none, move all the chips in on Zeke. We wouldn't even be having this conversation if Zeke didn't have situations every offseason about him, going to parties and can't stay out of trouble.
well, we're gonna move on, y'all. There was a lot of NFL talk and
Take it
everything.
away.
You know what I'm saying?
That
Take it
just
over,
shows
Coach.
how much we miss football.
I see.
Hey,
So
yeah.
we're gonna move on to our resident love doctor, our resident Mrs. Hitch,
Yeah.
Mrs. Lovers or Friends, Miss Pamela.
Okay, so this isn't I'm gonna get to the relationship dating stuff later. But what would y'all do? Did y'all see the Disney video?
Oh God, yes.
What would y'all do if somebody spit?
Look here. No matter how big that person is, if they spit on you, you gotta
That's
go
just
after.
like
You go
the
with the
nastiest
Wait,
thing.
you got to. Somebody
That's
just
the nastiest
What
spit on
Disney
you.
video are
You haven't seen
y'all
the video where
Oh.
those families are just going at it?
fight.
They-
Yeah.
Fighting at
No.
Disney?
Oh,
yeah, this is like
man.
from a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Hey, they towed Disney up. Man.
What was
hey,
it over?
and guess where they was at? They was in Toonland.
What was it?
This was a couple of weeks ago, though.
I don't know
What
if
was
it
it
went
over,
over
though?
anything
They was
in
like at the
particular,
toy
but-
store. You know what I'm saying? So ooh.
If somebody spit on me, especially if it landed on my face.
Okay, yeah. If it land on my face, yeah, we got to fight. But if it
Oh.
land on here, I'd be like, I'm going to say, okay, how big are you?
Right, yeah.
But nah, if they get my face,
oh,
I'm
close
gonna tell
to
y'all
my mouth.
straight up.
Oh no.
If it was one of my family members, which in this case, these were supposed to all be family members. It was his
Oh,
sister.
it is?
It was
Oh.
his sister that spit on him. I don't think I can go hard like that on myself. So he was hitting women. I mean, he was boxing anybody who. I mean, he put this.
well, that changed the narrative. I made
you gotta watch
couple
this
real
video.
hard or something.
I didn't realize they're all family. I
I'm
thought
be
they
real.
were
His
just
sister was
random
Yeah.
bigger than me.
people.
His sister was bigger than me.
Yeah.
But he
wow.
put his hands on his sister, his girlfriend. I mean, he was out there. He
That
put his
means
hands
he's
on
done something
another
like that
dude.
before.
Yeah,
That's
it
not-
could be,
that's not the first
family,
time.
They have
family
family
drama.
issues.
They
Yeah,
got
exactly.
family drama.
Man, we just got a family drama episode, don't we?
So my thing is I was thinking like if I had my daughter out there, what would I have done? This man out there wilding and putting his hands on women like that. Would you have intervened?
Look,
See, it always kind of question my mind. Like when I see
When do you
people
step
film
in
stuff,
and not-
yeah. When do
yeah.
you stop this foolishness? Because people are always quick to pull out the cell phones and
Instead of
watch,
trying to help.
watch,
Yeah.
instead of trying to stop and
I
prevent
think
it.
before,
Oh, I hate-
before I think I
God.
jump in, I'm gonna say, hey, have some other guys come with me.
Yeah.
No, and this is why.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to go over there and that man has something that I don't know he has.
Yeah.
And now, I
You trying to be a good Samaritan?
yeah, I'm trying to be a good Samaritan. Now I'm dead.
Plus, my first reaction would have been to protect my kid.
Yeah.
And my wife, I'd be like, hey, where mine's at? You know what I'm saying? Let me get
Yeah.
this under control.
Yeah.
And we might even just have to leave the fight. We would have had to leave a little area. Hey, security.
No, Disney give me a refund.
Hey,
I'm
but
going
check this
back.
out.
Go
The
ahead.
business security showed up. They got on tune hats. Big old lanyards with toys on the bottom of them.
Are they
You can tell they not
are they
even
gonna
set
make
up
a
for
Disney
nothing like
movie out of
that.
it too?
But see, that's a bad look
Hey,
for us, though.
they came out there with magic wands and stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, you back up.
Right. Yeah.
It's a bad look for us, man. We can't go anywhere.
Yeah,
Somebody
it
spit on you,
is.
you get hot.
it just goes with the whole unfortunate stigma that we have in this country, like that. It's that's why it was like. It makes it actually worse that it's actually family people that are doing it to each
Yeah,
other.
right,
Like
yeah.
you could deal with the stuff. Like you had to go in there, spend time where there's kids are there, kids are around. You're not even thinking about the consequences or
The kids.
what the
The kids,
ramifications or
yeah.
any of that, and then
Kids
you just
traumatized
decided to act
kids.
on it because I got upset. Like, okay, get upset, stay upset, like walk away from each other. Like
Right.
you guys
I'll
are
meet you back in
there.
the front at 8:00.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell
whatever.
you what, he can't
you know?
show up to no family functions with
Oh
me.
no.
No, he's
oh,
done.
He
That's
can't show up to
a
no family functions.
Hard
Yeah.
for life.
I don't care if he can
On
make some
site.
good potato salad. That
On
man, he
site.
can't come back.
On site, I'm going for his face, man.
But with the same token, y'all, these people were probably trying to go viral so that way they can push whatever. So
You
that
think
way,
that they that
as long as
crazy?
you're googling, their name. Oh, now you see what I'm doing, or
I don't think they
'cause
get
you
I,
know-
paid.
But they get paid
don't
for it,
think
though,
his
so I don't
sister
know.
and the
Nah.
women in his family gonna take those Mike Tyson punch like that.
Ooh,
Just
one
to
of
be,
them called it bad.
Yeah, I mean,
His
he
girlfriend
was-
called it the worst. I mean, he ran her about 10 yards. I mean, it literally was,
I'm gonna have to go Google
Watch
this
this,
video,
yeah,
y'all.
yeah.
oh, it's horrible. It's horrible. It's
Nah,
stomach
I'm
wrenching.
not gonna give him a view. Never mind.
Nah, see,
Well, I
yeah,
didn't
you
share it
just said
'cause
that you
of
want to.
I didn't share it because of that. I said, you know what? I can't.
I don't even. I
Yeah.
try not to even watch any fights unless it's a bully fight.
Yeah.
Unless the bully's getting
Oh,
beat up, those are the
Lord.
fights I like to watch.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't
no,
watch.
yeah, I don't like
There
bullying.
may
but-
or may not be a fight video of a certain one of us somewhere floating around.
Hello.
But
What?
anyway, moving
You
right
don't
along.
No.
Don't let the pretty nails fool you.
Yeah, no.
Please elaborate.
You have to elaborate on that.
Oh my God, do I have to?
Yes.
Don't bring up anything on this show and think we're gonna let it just
okay.
go.
It was, y'all, I was that parent. It was at my son's basketball game. I was that parent.
Can you date it? Can you date it?
How,
Like, how long ago
old?
was
How
this?
old was he?
February.
Oh, God.
Oh my, you was on the show. Did you have your t-shirt?
Moving right along.
Yes.
So let's.
Hey, YouTube that.
Yeah.
Now, we,
Y'all, I swear I Googled myself for like 3-4 days afterwards just to see.
But it has to be like pretty tall
I
mom,
was
of
hashtagging
basketball
everything
player.
on Instagram,
Yeah.
like, oh Jesus, because
So-
I never saw the video, but apparently it was on Snapchat.
So walk us through what happened. Give us the events that happened on that day.
Man, I don't want. Ooh,
Please.
yeah.
No, we can send some of the
we got-
subjects. We're good.
Yeah, I
Don't worry.
cancel the Yeet of the week for this. You might end up getting the
Yeah,
Yeet
you
of the
don't get the yeet of the week.
Okay, let me just say this real quick, and I apologize if my mom sees this because it was really embarrassing after the fact. But it was at a basketball game that my son was in. It was a very tight, tense game, and apparently the game before, when the ninth grade team played, the coach was of the other team had a little attitude and kind of made some rude comments to some of the parents. And so after we lost the game by like 3 points, I think, the 10th grade team. So afterwards, the coach of the other team comes up and he's mocking the parents that he had an issue with before.
Of
So
your,
from the ninth
of
grade
your,
game.
of
Now,
your,
the ninth grade game
So the ninth grade game played.
was over.
The coach gets an attitude.
Gets attitude
10th
'cause
grade
they
team
lost.
wins by 3 points. And then now he comes back and retaliates.
No, his 10th grade team won by 3 points. Our team lost.
That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
now he comes to the stands of y'all
Yes.
to ridicule and to mock.
Right.
We got y'all.
Right.
Okay.
So I walked over and I said, because he happens to be a brother, and I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, you can't, don't do this. So I walked over and I was like, hey, you're real.
Somebody hand me some Vaseline.
And my friend came and got me. So we're kind of going back and forth. And then my friend came and got me. And then some of his players started talking trash to me.
oh,
okay?
God. Kids.
Exactly.
Well, you
Well,
see-
these are no, see, we're gonna have another discussion. But when you're 17, I don't consider you no kid. And these 10th graders,
Right.
so they 15 to 16-year-olds.
Right.
So hey, they some big kids.
So he said something to me, and I said something back, a couple of little cuss words or whatever. So next thing I know, I guess his mom comes from the stands, and my friend's holding me,
Kid's mom or coach's mom?
the kid's mom,
Okay, all right.
and hits me from behind. And I turned around like, excuse me? And she saw, because my hand went like this, and she saw me, and she threw a Coke bottle at me, and I turned my face, and it hit me in the face. Oh, it was on and popping in. You understand me? It was, so
That's crazy.
this guy
isn't
that
it?
she was with was she took off running, right? I just want y'all to know, she took off running.
Coward.
And this
The guy she was with took off running?
no, she took off running, but this guy she was with was up in my face. So I may or may not have grabbed him and let him have it for her since she took off running. Yeah.
They need to understand you were straight up about what 6 foot on the dot,
5'11".
5'11.5.
But
Hey,
had she,
What kind of shoes you had on?
so
that's
it was a big old thing. And then next thing I know, my son's team found out that I had gotten hit. So y'all, the whole gym, they start. It was.
that's on social media somewhere.
It's
We are finding that
Wait,
as soon as this
we
show is
know
over with.
where the tournament was,
It was
Yeah.
a whole
What's your
Snapchat
kids'
video.
what city,
school?
what gymnasium.
I'm not finna. I'll tell you that off there.
all right.
Oh
I'm not
my
finna have
goodness.
everybody googling me. But yeah, y'all. So I was a little embarrassed about it afterwards.
But no, you had
There may
every.
or may not have been.
Right.
You were in the right on that one,
But
though.
Oh,
it
for
just,
sure.
It
Yeah.
just
I be throwing heads for sure.
But you say you
No
got off on
question.
somebody though, huh? You
I
got some
did.
licks off.
I did, and he actually came and apologized to me, because
For getting hit.
no, because he jumped in my face. 'Cause
Oh,
like,
yeah,
she
of
took
course.
off running, but he was.
There
trying to
wasn't one
prevent
adult
me.
in the room.
Exactly. So yeah, he came and apologized to me.
Well, that's good.
Wait, I still don't. We didn't find out until now.
Pam got a whole bunch of stories we don't know about.
Yeah,
Y'all know
a
that.
whole- a
Moving right
whole-
along. Are we talking about? The
Wait.
Heat now?
With that said, we got to be careful when we go out with Pam.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because you better have some good shoes on. Because
Because
we'll be
I
throwing
am
down.
that friend. If somebody starts something with you, Serge, I got your back.
All right,
I got
appreciate
your
that.
back. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Love doctor until.
Wait,
I-
yeah,
Right.
you really googling this?
No, I'm gonna
Oh,
Google it
okay.
later. I actually witnessed a little scuffle. I was kind of on the the outskirts of it at the Independence Bowl like one year. Two guys were talking some trash, and I actually knew one group because he used to go to high school with me, and I was in the though laughing and stuff like that. And they took it to that level. I mean, right there in the stands at the football game. And my
You
brother was
weren't,
getting, no, I wasn't filming. My brother was like, get back. My brother was pulling me out of there because he was all getting upset and mad too. But they went with them hands.
Yeah, so my daughter's dad, who is also her coach, we play indoor soccer, and the parents kept talking trash the whole entire game. We ended up beating them, and what happened? So the ladies, so the way the stands are set up, it's like upstairs, and you look down. So the mom, she was like, it's okay, they're older than y'all, that's why they beat y'all. So, her dad got mad and was like, yo, like, don't try to downplay it like we only won because we're older than y'all.
Right.
Because obviously you thought you were good enough if you played up. So then the
Yes.
dad got involved, like the dad, and they're talking trash from upstairs. So Jada's dad does not play. And he's like, come downstairs. Say whatever you want to say. Y'all, when I say these people disappeared, they disappeared, and we had their whole soccer place, like how she said, like the whole everything was involved. Yeah, it was crazy. And they would not leave the premises because her dad was waiting at the door. Yeah, not playing. Plays no games.
Hey, man, we got to watch it. We hang
Yeah.
out with these two here.
But y'all didn't make YouTube though. This one him made you. Y'all ain't
Yeah.
get clicks.
I made Snapchat, not YouTube.
Yeah.
Snapchat video.
She viral.
But
Y'all
people
doing talking.
just, I don't know.
Like I had this happen at a game. I forgot what school it was at, but one of our players, how in basketball, when you were about to go out of bounds, you get it, you throw the ball off the other player, and it
Yeah.
go out on them. Well, this kid, man, he's like a man child that's on our team. So when he throws the ball, that it hurts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he hit this one kid. So all of a sudden, a mother came out the stand. That's my baby. That's my baby. And then we got one of our dads. This dude don't play. Like
Yeah.
he said, that's somebody else's baby too. You better take your ass back up in them stands. You know what she did? That's my baby. And then walk back up those steps. Because it happened so quick.
She had to make an executive decision.
Yeah, because our player was still on the sideline. It happened so quick. I didn't register everything. I'm sitting on the bench. I was the assistant coach that game because we just told him, hey, come over here. But he stepped in.
Not even that. If he would have actually thrown a punch or something, that'd be different. But
Right,
it's a
that was a-
basketball
It's a
play.
that
basketball.
happened
But
during
hey,
the game.
if you saw the steam come off this ball,
It doesn't matter.
no, believe me, I know.
I know.
But I don't even want to play with this kid. That's how crazy it is. But,
Wow.
Hey, KD, what you got for us in your corner?
So a couple of weeks ago, I posted on Instagram. Where I'm always talking with my friends, my lady friends, and we always talk about what we want from men and what how we can keep, like, what men got to do to keep us. But we never, like, nobody ever talks about what it what y'all want, what men want. So I had posted on
cares?
Instagram, like, what do men want?
What do
I'm
men
sorry.
want?
what do men want?
We're on the A side, right?
Right, I was about to say
gotta
what they
keep
want.
this-
We can't talk about.
We got to keep this tempered.
PG.
What do we want?
That's number
Okay.
one.
We want peace.
Okay.
We want good relations. Ships with good relations. I think we just want it just to be not easy, you know what I'm saying? Just run
Hey.
smooth.
Still want that domesticated woman,
Hey.
like that cooks and cleans and
No,
does
you don't
all
have to
that
do
like
that.
every day.
I just want a
that
woman. You know, they say
do
the man is
cleaner.
he's the control of the household, pretty much. He's the head of the household.
Head of the household. I don't know, you
But
sure?
here's my thing. You know what I was trying to say. Meet me 50-50. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I need to make a decision, yes. But I want you to be in on the decision as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I
Agreed.
want you to be happy.
Agreed.
That's why this is the biggest fight. Hey, what do you want to eat? We always ask y'all that.
Man.
Because we know if we can satisfy y'all, we're good. Because we'll eat pretty much anything.
But I hate when you ask me what I want to eat and I say what I want to eat. You be like,
And then
I don't really like
want
that.
No, that's the reverse. Because y'all do that to us.
Yeah.
I see.
know. I
That's
think
one thing I've never, ever done is like when I legitimately say like pick whatever you want. I will never turn around and be like, I just had that
Yeah, I don't
yesterday.
either.
Even if I had it yesterday, I'd be like, I'll have it again.
I'll
Now,
find
if it's something we
something I
had
like.
yesterday, then
No,
yeah,
no, no.
but-
You
No,
don't
I'm
be
talking
like
about like me individually had it on my own, but not us together. And
know
she
what?
wanted to have it now, and then I'm like, okay,
I'm
that's
guilty
fine.
on one situation.
You know?
When she started doing this
I'll just pick
Ethiopian
something
food
else
stuff,
from there.
my stomach can only go so far. You know, I'm good. Yeah, any chicken, steak, hamburgers, Asian.
But when she wanna do that stuff,
we
you
start
like,
getting too far off into it. I'm like, whoa, now.
I'll cash
And
you
look-
some money. You go tomorrow for lunch.
Yeah.
And look, that's why y'all are married.
Right.
Hey, my
Because y'all
Ludacris
know
said
how
it
to
best.
work the system.
Yeah.
Ludacris said it best. A lady in the streets and a freak in the sheets. That's it. Lock it up.
Yeah, so my favorite response was a dude. He had said, "We don't know, but we will know once we find it, and more importantly, be open to accept it." Because I feel like women always get a bad rap for like not knowing what we want. But
Yes.
if we were to
well,
tell,
I think men get a bad rap too because
Men
I
get
feel like
horrible rap.
women probably do know what they want more than men do. I do feel that, but I think men don't know what they really want and realize like this is what I really need until they meet that person.
right?
And
That's
then
the
lose that
difference.
person and then be like, oh, I should have kept that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
grass ain't always greener.
That was
Yeah.
another story. Anyway.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
I think I feel like respect is like obviously number one. Communication is number two. An open dialogue, meaning, and I think those two things together. Because if you give me respect, you're automatically gonna reciprocate it back, right? So it's a mutual thing at that point. And I feel like if you get those two things, the mental peace side of it, it automatically
It
comes.
comes
Like
with it, yeah.
I was just talking to my wife about that. Like we were at dinner last night after a movie. Like just
Where did y'all
like
dinner at?
we just walked down the street from the movie theater and went to Fuzzy's.
Oh, okay.
And yeah.
I like fun.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing is like, yeah, like we might still, yeah, we have a son, and we still live like paycheck to paycheck and all that, and yeah, we want to move into a house next year. But at the same time, like when I look at people around us who have been married, whether they have kids or not yet, and it always seems like there's a struggle, like there's like some people who are like they probably shouldn't have never even gotten married, but they did it because of the pressure from family, community, blah 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 blah.
Been
And it's like,
together.
man, like I would rather have what we have because I have mental peace as opposed to maybe I have more money, maybe I do live in a house, maybe, but I just don't have that peace to where like, man, I always feel like I want to get away or something. And I don't have that issue. Like I go to sleep peacefully, wake up peacefully. Just knowing what I have can be taken away because somebody else would love to be in the position that I'm in, no matter, even if I am living paycheck to paycheck. You know what I mean? So
And another thing I think it is
But she's submitting and compromising to the dollar. So
not to the money.
But if a guy has the money and he's constantly throwing that money up in your face, you see what I'm saying? What does
So for the
submitting really mean?
for the sake of this conversation, you have a really good guy that you know he's going to provide for you, your kids. He's going to be there to support you in whatever business you have. Okay? So what I mean by submitting is like you make him the head. That's all I mean.
Okay, so for instance, to me, if submitting from me would be as an example, we are trying to make a decision on something. And I have my opinion on, say,
Yeah.
buying a house.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
I like this house. He likes this house for, different reasons. To me, if I am a submissive wife, I'm going to let him choose the house that we are going to be at. Not to say that I don't like his house. I just seem to like this one a little bit more.
I'm not saying give up like your morals or anything like that.
Exactly.
No, nothing like
It's
that.
I got what you're
more
saying.
allowing
You see what I'm
him
saying?
To take the lead on,
Yes, that's all.
things,
Okay.
you
And
know.
here's the thing. I don't even want to do that half the time. Like I said, just meet me 50-50.
Happy wife, happy
Yep.
life.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't even
agree.
feel like my wife and I, we rarely argue.
Yeah.
And if we
I'm
do,
right
it's
there.
like 30 seconds, and it's like we're kids. Like we just forget.
Yeah.
So,
Bless him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the best thing. So, go ahead and get us a Yeet, man.
Yeet of the week. We did a little bit of a turn at the last second on this one, so I don't know. We got Katie, your daughter. I wish we could bring her in for the last 5 minutes, let the world see her. But she plays soccer, and
She can
I'm not
come
a
in. Let me
I'm not a huge soccer fan. I'll be the first to admit, but I noticed that the MLS is doing a better job of trying to sell us the game of soccer. Right? They're trying to do a better job of highlighting it. So last night was one of their premier matchups where they got two soccer clubs in the city of LA that were playing against each other. So all week they had commercials and hyped this up. Well, it's a guy from Sweden who came over here as one of those renter players. His name is Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Yeah. Monster. And last night, this guy did some stuff with his feet that I have never seen before. I mean, he was on the biggest stage in MLS and performed a hat trick. I challenge everybody to go take a look at these highlights of what this dude did. He single-handedly stole the show.
Oh, yeah.
And what's crazy about it is he kind of brings that boxing mentality into the game. And he was on there. He talked trash. He talked mad trash. He was scoring and he was looking at the other team and like what y'all gonna do now? Like it kind of got my blood was boiling. I was watching this and I'm gonna be real with you. I had to kind of start watching the last 40 minutes of the game. I was like, that's crazy. But he balled out of control, got a hat trick, which in soccer a hat trick is like
very rare.
Yeah.
Very rare. I mean, I think with him. He's already in his 30s.
He's 37.
37, right? And he plays like he's still like 25.
Man, he plays
and
young.
If you thought what you saw, like I've actually watched him play before when he was with Inter Milan, probably like a decade ago. Because I used to play FIFA all the time, and he was like one of the top 3, top 4 guys on FIFA. But it's one thing to play with somebody, but then you watch that person play. Trust me, go YouTube the guy. What you saw yesterday was like nothing compared to what he's been doing in his entire career.
But ain't that amazing how he can come here and just dominate our sport?
Oh my God!
When you watch
and he's probably dominated it better than Beckham has. Yeah. He's dominated better than Rooney has.
What about when Pele back in '88? Because Pele
I'm
played
talking about
for
like
New
coming
York
over to the MLS.
That's what I'm talking about. Back in '88, Pele played for a team in New York. It wasn't as big back then, though. But before we get out here, Ibrahimovic, you deserve a yeet.
And we got a guest that just came through the door. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? Say your name.
Say your name. Yeah.
Jada.
Jada. All right, Jada.
Who do you play for, Jada?
MSC.
You want to give a shout?
You want to give a shout out to anybody?
Mesquite Soccer Club.
All right.
You want to give a shout out to your dad, your coach?
Who's the founder of MSC?
My dad.
And what's his name?
Dante.
You got to. We already predicting you gonna make it to the women's U.S. women's team. So you you can't be shy. You gonna be the You gonna be the face of women's soccer.
That's right.
She's like, whatever.
Now, how old are you again?
11.
All right. You want to play professional soccer or you want to go to LSU, I heard. All right, there we go.
You really do want to go to LSU?
Yes.
Woo.
You know what? I'm all about
We'll see
kids
the
going
World
to
Cup in
college.
You raising that child right.
Whatever.
2027 World Cup. I guess we'll see her.
Yeah.
I hope so. And hopefully we'll still be on the air.
Hey, but I know we're running out of time, but big fight tonight. Y'all gonna watch it?
Yeah, I'm watching it for sure.
Pacquiao, Thurman. Who you got? Who you got, sir?
I like Pacquiao, man, but
Thurman's gonna win.
Yeah,
man, see,
Thurman's
that's my
gonna
thing,
win
man.
too.
At first, I was thinking Thurman was going to demolish him, but I think Thurman putting too much pressure on himself. He undefeated first and foremost at 147. He's held the title since 2013. But I saw him fight Porter, and I wasn't overly impressed. And he putting that legacy type thing on it. You know, he like I'm a beat this man so bad he gonna retire. And I just
Never underestimate Pacquiao though. But
I'm going Pacquiao.
I'm going Thurman.
I'm going Thurman too. All right, so thank you for listening to another episode of Sports Life Talk. Excuse me.
Who you got?
Who you got?
One
Who
time.
fighting again?
See, you see what I'm saying?
Keith one-time Thurman versus
Yeah,
the
him.
fighting Senator Manny Pacquiao.
Thurman.
Who you
That's
got?
All right.
Who's the underdog?
Pacquiao.
Back here.
Go Pacquiao.
Yeah.
Pac-Man.
And I apologize for not including you two in that.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Sports Life Talk, where Live.Sports just talk. Follow and like us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, as well as YouTube. And find us in the after party, too. We hope that you will join us next week, and please tell a friend to check us out.
If y'all can find Pam's fighting video, let us know.
Please,
Oh, we
yes,
definitely got
tag
to
us
look.
in it.
No.
Bye, y'all.